Oh, hello there. Sorry about the delay. Oh dear. Welcome. I should be on YouTube as well. I am on YouTube as well. You remain tired. Hello Lexi. Hello Kate B. Hello Fish. Hello Alia. I am terribly sorry for the ever so late start. But yes, welcome. You got ahead of yourself there, Lexi. Well done. A little bit previous there. Right. So we're going to open today. Actually, we're going to open by going live. Hang on a minute. Ooh. We are opening today. Yeah. I'm fine, Kate. I just basically been hanging around for about 3 hours. Because somebody wanted to book a call with me over potentially some work, and yeah, ghosted. Not a problem. I'll live. So, hello, Hiram. Guess he's an idiot. Not only is Kiraika not outside the bubble, but she's only 6 jumps from the CG. Oh. Single delivery is in order. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just... It happens. It happens. Freelancer life. What you gonna do? Wasn't for life-changing amounts or anything. It was just annoying. Stuff happens. Okay, proper start to the stream then. So we are going to start off with a short story I wrote for XPs in a game run by Fish. And I rather like it. I think it's come out rather well. And I hope you guys like it as well. She says, completely losing her thread. Hang on. Ah, dearie me. Well done, Drutty. Okay. Find the file. And then I will do some more Watson is not an idiot. Was in that chat, and it was there, and it was there. Aha. Oh, we're opening on that monitor, are we? Okay, fine. Yeah, I hope people like this. I was a little bit weird about reading my own stuff out. But, you know, read it nicely so you can grab it for the playlist. Okay. I'll do my best. Right. Okay, let me get a quick drink. You'll notice, by the way, I'm streaming under the IRL instead of just chatting at the moment. I thought I'd see if that got any wider notice. Just see what the algorithm does. And of course it'll be me doing something slightly weird. Right. In that case, let's do this properly. Wake Up by Linda M. Evans. As these things go, the evening had been a success. Zaren had co-opted her friends into helping her clean the house while she arranged the food, bartering for the meat and fish to be grilled outside. The weather had been warm, their house welcomingly clean and tidy. Just the right number of people visiting, saying nice things about it to her and to Partik, even if he was too young to really know why everyone was being so kind. There were presents given and received. Harkin the Weaver had given Zaren a warm mantle, with the suggestion to keep it oiled to keep the rain off. He didn't say why she might be caught in the rain. That would have been impolite. Lelik was a leather worker, and Partik loved the new sheath for his little knife. It was small but sharp, and Zaren had got into the habit of pulling his hand away from the blade without even looking now. Little kindnesses from the people they saw every day, and in return they carried away what the children had to give. A pair of fine glass bowls for the couple who owned the fruit stall and always said hello. A cloak pin, only bronze, but polished to a mirror shine with a half-sun rising above the clasp. That had gone to Tilda, who ladled the beer into leather skins at each door and was always cheerful. Zaren admired her way of not spilling a drop. By the time night started to draw in, many of their grandfather's possessions had washed out to those who wanted them, needed them, had once admired them, and been promised them when the time came. The old man had been careful about that, and made a list of who was deserving of the best of his goods. Eventually, the meat was eaten, the beer was drunk, and people started to drift away on the tide as the house grew darker and felt a little colder despite the lingering heat in the air. The last gifts of the day had come from the sailmaker Burl, who had carried away the carved bone gaming set in return for the lengths of heavy greased canvas. To be sure. Thoughtful of him. Not the first time he'd attended one of these gatherings. The last time had been 2 years ago, and there had been fewer guests, less to give away. Their mother hadn't brought much with her when she'd returned to her father's house, with a confused Partik and confounded Zaren in tow. Some people remembered her from before, though, and what she could spare had been exchanged with people she'd grown up with. The first mate who'd taught her to sail, the lady who made the jewellery, and the strange little man with quick fingers who'd made the wedding sashes. Zaren's mother's father had been the host and shown them the right way of doing things, to be properly respectful. Zaren had paid attention to the lessons and the demonstration. Even though she'd really been too small to help much, she'd tried, and so had Partik. Now the old man lay in the equally old boat, woven of bundles of dried dune rushes held together with thick, rough thread, and smelling of the grease from the spiced meat. It wouldn't need to be watertight for long, and the fragrant grease would serve as extra fuel. It had taken Zaren, Partik, and all their friends to make a neat bundle of their grandfather in one of Burl's sheets. They could have asked the guests for help, but Zaren felt that, as the new head of the house, it was her job to do the shark's share, with her little crew helping keep things straight and carry the body to the boat. Partik was exhausted, and now slept with his head on a coil of rope by the simple mooring platform. Her friends had withdrawn to the shadows, giving Zaren space to finish the twin tasks that would close the night. She was chipping sparks onto the brand. New fire burns cleanest, according to her grandfather, when the footsteps approached behind her. Quiet, but unconcerned about true stealth. Zaren turned. The man standing before her wasn't especially tall, and the colour of his eyes and hair and eyes were wrong in the dying cooking's light, but she knew they were both pale brown. He glanced around to make sure no guests had lingered, and the side of his profile so much like her father's nauseated Zarin. When he spoke, his voice was pitched not to carry, and could have been mistaken for kind by someone who didn't know him. "So, you've done your duty by the old man. I'm here to take you home, both of you," he hastened to add, glancing at the shattered Partik with a look of disdain for the weakness for a 7-year-old. He returned his focus to Zarin and smiled. He had her father's smile too, but more calculating, and she felt a coldness in her stomach, as images came to mind unneeded. Blood on the floor, under the bed, on the mat. Mother always kept the mat clean, the bed clean. How would she clean it now, as the bubbles and the pink foam dripped from her father's mouth onto the floor, mixed with the salt of Mother's tears as she tried to clear his throat, wipe away the poison, as if cleanliness was an antidote, and the man before her now chuckles, tossed away the wineskin he'd brought to share, and left them in the ever-dirtier bedroom with the man, almost paralysed, starting the week of unscreaming agony the toxin was known for. "Stay cold. You killed my father." "Not a question." He smiled, almost bashful, as if it was an achievement to be humble about. "It wasn't personal. You have to be strong in our family, and, well, he should never have married your mother. I gave him time to get tired of her, but after 2 children, well, that was never going to happen. Steps needed to be taken to remove a useless heir. I liked my big brother, but his weakness made him unsuitable. I'm sorry for the method. But that particular poison is a family specialty. It delivers a lesson to the victims and those around them to know the consequences of trying to be something you're not." Zarin exhaled, tightening her stomach to shove out all the air and wrest control from the spasm of rage in her guts. Cold. "You killed my mother." That brought a genuine smile from the man. "Well, she did kill my brother, and steal my niece and nephew away. It was only right she paid for ruining the last lesson he would have learned. I'll admit she concealed her tracks well. We thought she'd gone inland, not home to Daddy, but it came right in the end. It was a favour to the old man that I didn't retrieve you then, but now he's departed, it's time to rejoin your family." Zarin returned her attention to the flint and steel, scraping the stone along the rough metal, showering sparks onto the brand. "I saw you." The man, her father's brother, looked puzzled, as if she'd said the stupidest thing in the world. "Yes, I know. We spoke. I remember it well. She was bleeding all over my boots. I said I'd be back for you." Scrape. "Not what I meant. I saw you this morning in the market. You followed me to the docks. You watched me build the fire and welcome the guests. I saw you. But you didn't see." Scrape. With a crackle, the brand fled to life, the fish oil-soaked wood blazing white, briefly blinding the man in front of her, who recoiled and went for the dagger at his belt. Before he could draw, he was pelted from behind with rocks. None were large, but the children throwing them had a long practice, and he was forced to raise his hand to fend off the assault from the darkness, blinking furiously to clear his vision of the shape of the flame. Zarin opened her eyes, holding the brand above her head as she drew her knife and thrust it into the throat of the distracted man, silencing his voice. As he gasped for air, beginning to drown on his own blood, she pulled back, adjusted her grip, and slashed his neck, cutting the veins either side of his ruined throat. As the man fell to his knees, eyes growing unfocused, she bent to whisper to him. "New tradition. Hurt someone I care about. No slow poison. Consider it a favour. Die silent." Hoisting the brand aloft, Zarin watched her friends emerge from the concealing shadows. She wiped her blade on his tunic, cut his purse away, then passed the brand to the youngest of her friends as the others helped her roll her father's brother and killer of her parents in the second canvas. His chest was fluttering, futilely trying to draw breath, as they laid him next to her grandfather, and Zarin spread the end of the canvas over both bundles. She cut the rope mooring the boat, and only then did she gently shake Partik awake. The little boy was bleary-eyed, and she hugged him with her free arm, reclaiming the brand. "It's time," Say farewell, then you can sleep properly. Bartik mumbled and made a passable bow as their grandfather's last voyage began with a suitable attendant. The brand landed square in the centre of the boat, which caught immediately, flaring white and red as it drifted out on the current. The fire burned hot with plenty of fuel, and it was some time before Zarin bade her friends a good night and put the sleepy Bartik to bed. She didn't look back as she closed the door, shutting out the night. There we go. I hope people like that. Spotted a couple of typos I need to sort out, but aside from that, I'm happy with that. I am dangerously close to seeing if I can turn that into something a bit longer. Possibly worth selling. Fish, that was just such a nonsense set of roles on her life path. I had to do something when you set that challenge to cover it. You buy it. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, yeah. I may have to. I will have to see if I can sort out a story then. Yeah, she has all the backstory. She's everybody's backstory. I think half the party is lacking the extra elements of life path roles that she just sort of soaked up. But yes. Okay, right. I'm going to swap books. You're sitting here trying to write up an excerpt for Corwin and feeling like it won't match up. What you're forgetting, Chrono, is I'm a drama llama. And I have a bad habit. If it's grim and grotty, apparently that's where my brain lives. It's a bit depressing. But thank you guys for being nice about it. Right, I'm just going to pause. I will stop the stream and then restart. It's going to be the easiest way to do it. And swap books. And then get on with a couple of sections of Watson is Not an Idiot. Back in a minute.